was going to record for you guys a collection update video, and I just realized this base just exploded right there. You can actually see a part of the resin leak out. Realize the resin actually leaked out all the way back there. Wow, that's no good. No way. I think this one is the one that actually exploded. You guys can see there's like a crack right there. Yeah, that's not actually a lot of resin. So I was wondering why my room smells so much like resin. This explains everything. That's a lot of resin actually. So I'm gonna clean this up. And so for people asking me to showcase my Godzilla collection and give some commentary on it, remember this isn't my full collection. Most of it is in a different place. And unfortunately, it's not my full setup because one of my figures did end up exploding and releasing so much resin. So here we have the Awakening Shin Godzilla, a very expensive and rare figure, a customized Mothra with translucent wings, which looks fantastic with this lighting. We have the Final Wars Godzilla. We have the special edition Godzilla 2019. This is one of my favorites, honestly, because of the effect. You guys can see the dorsal plates. Looks beautiful like that. And also, it's a very rare figure. It came with the 4K DVDs, Blu-rays, and the set was very beautiful indeed. We have some 3D printed explosions right here. And we have a 3D printed, I forgot the name. I think this is Galos or something like that from Gamera. Let me know in the comments. I don't remember the name, but I do know that it starts with a G. We have a 3D printed head for Godzilla Ultima. This is the Monster Arts version. And then in the back here, we do have Rodan. This is from Monster Arts, and he's just chilling back there, you know? He's doing his own thing, you know? Here we have a customized Kong. This is the Monster Arts version. I know the colors don't match. This is the original, not the one that came out with the battle damage, which was a little bit more black, I think. And here we have the Skullcrawler. This is the original, not the upgraded version. And here we have this little fella that came with Godzilla Ultima. And I fully painted this one, which is incredible. We have Shimu with her pose, the explosion effect, as if she's causing that with her weight and all that. We have Godzilla Evolve. This is the customized version. He's running in a running pose, like the poster version. We have Kong right here. Again, this is not finalized. I'm only showing you guys my collection that I currently have right now with me. And some of the figures, like I said, they had to be modified because one of my figures over here exploded and released so much resin. That's the original Godzilla Evolve, no modifications done, and you guys can see the difference between both. The chest area is very different. This is more like the desert-like with more details on the dorsal plates, on the head sculpture compared to this one. And we have Kong with the pickaxe. We have the original Godzilla 2019, which is one of my favorite sculptures, and something about the eyes looks perfect on this one compared to the upgraded version, which is this one. Now this one, while I don't hate it, I think that they missed out on what they've done with the original. The original will always have something special that the upgraded version just doesn't have, even though it does have more details. You guys can see on the head sculpture compared to this one, there's definitely a huge difference when it comes to details on the dorsal plates, on the body, and otherwise. Here we have the original Burning Godzilla with my -1 poster for watching it. Fantastic movie, had a great time there. And we have the classic Godzilla. I wanted to do it as if he was facing off against Ghidorah, and again, that will be modified. If you look back here, we have the Queen Mutos done by the infamous Carla Customs and Repaint. I believe she's very talented and she's done a lot of amazing work. And that's part of the SH Monster Arts special edition case right here. You guys can see Rodan and Ghidorah. Very, very fantastic. And that's a cyberpunk character that I did. You guys can see there's a little poster of Ghidorah in the background with Rodan. That's also a very special book from the movie. And of course, we do have King Ghidorah right here, the infamous big Ghidorah, which is taking off most of the shelf. Again, this is not finalized, but I do want to make a better video. Let me know if you guys want to see that. How to pose your figures. We have the upgraded Skullcrawler from Godzilla vs. Kong. In the back here, you guys can barely see, but there is a stylized Queen Mutos, and then we have the female Muto right here. You guys can barely see that, but she's all the way back here. And then we have, let me see, it's hard to tell, but there is a Godzilla 1998 right here. Let me see. This is also based on a concept art version. So yeah, I do have little figures. An idea of how massive the wingspan for Ghidorah is. It takes most of the shelf. And here you have a little Easter egg, if you want to call it like that. So that's going to be for a future release. It's currently under testing, and it will be available soon enough for the Monster Arts version. And yeah, I mean, this is my little setup. We have the X Plus Godzilla 2019, I believe. Is it? Or the, I don't remember if it's the 2019 or 2020 something. No, it might be the one versus Kong, I believe. But yeah, this is currently my setup. This is what I got going for it. Let me know which is your favorite, and I will be upgrading my shelf space so it looks more organized and a lot better. Here I have a few things that I haven't really shown. For example, this was supposed to release the Void Ghidorah that never released. Again, there was a lot of canceled projects that happened behind closed doors with me. We have Itachi 02, Monster Arts Godzilla 2019, the statue version for Shimu that was supposed to release, that also got canceled unfortunately. We have Shin Godzilla's right here, the original Kong, and Destroyer with my Kylo Ren helmet. You guys can see in the background the Godzilla PS4, which is very rare. A few 3D printed Godzillas in the background. Godzilla 2014 special edition with a 3D customized head to improve on the accuracy. Some NECA figures in the background. And another customized Godzilla. It's hard to see. You guys can see that. That's the Godzilla vs. Kong with a 3D customized head. 3D printed and painted by me. Some buildings again, and other things. I'm trying not to show too much because there is some private things here in the shelf that I don't want to show off too much, you know. I try to keep my personal life private out of my YouTube, you know, career, business. For this shelf, it's sort of abandoned. I haven't really cleaned it off. Again, this is a separate room, and you guys can see that some of the figures are extremely dusty. Yeah, they're like very, very dusty. And I will have to do some cleaning, very, very deep cleaning on those figures because they are in extremely bad conditions. But that's one of them. And again, there's more figures on this shelf, but I don't really want to show much because again, there is very private things here that I don't want to showcase too much, but you get the idea. Unfortunately, this is a figure that exploded, and yeah, the damage is very, very bad. I'm going to try and cure it, but either way, I mean, it's gone. And so this was a very nice figure, very detailed and very nice, from Godzilla Ultima. Just in case many of you are wondering, RubiGamingx, what happened to your collection? You used to have so much more figures. You used to have a massive shelf, the X Plus Godzilla. Well, for most people that have been here, if you're an OG, you could recall that a few years back, about 5 years, we had a massive accident here where we used to live. Unfortunately, my house got flooded and I lost a lot of personal, very important things, and there was no way of saving any of that. You know, it was pretty much trash. If not, it got completely destroyed. Most of my boxes for Godzilla had to be thrown away. They were literally falling apart with a lot of disgusting water that went through. And it was a very, very devastating time for me. I tried doing everything that I could, but water kept on coming in a very fast velocity that I just couldn't stop anything. And it just happened within seconds. And next thing you knew, and from what I can recall, everything was lost. My clothes, closets, beds, tables, refrigerator, everything was gone. And unfortunately, you know, this happens sometimes because where I live, there's a lot of rain, which creates extreme conditions for all this to happen with lots of floods. And it's no joke. It's extremely sad to recover from anything like that. I would have loved to have kept my original collection, my boxes, some of the figures that were unfortunately lost and just taken by the currents of the water just pulling everything. And unfortunately, the owner did not want to be responsible for all the damages. And yeah, extremely harsh conditions. So this is what I'm currently left with. And you know, life, I grew up, and you know, life became extremely busy, so you tend to move away from the things that you used to love, if that makes any sense, because once you are fully grown, you have to work, life becomes extremely busy, and you barely have any time to do or dedicate to some of the things that you love, you know. And it's unfortunate, for sure. It really is unfortunate, but I still love Godzilla, guys. I still love Godzilla. I still have a passion. I just don't have the time anymore. And my focus has unfortunately shifted to personal things. Move on to the 3D project side of things. What happened to all of my projects and why they got canceled? Let's move on to Shimo. Shimo was supposed to be a full-on figure with more articulation than the Haya toys. It was supposed to release before the Haya toys. It never happened because of articulation issues. The problem was one issue was resolved and it made 2 more issues or 3 more issues. And at that pace, it kept on getting delay and it wasn't the timing. Honestly, it just wasn't the timing, and many projects were put on hold because of us or me wanting to get Shimo finished, focusing on this figure so much that I just let go of the rest of the projects and they just got lost. And you know, a lot of personal things happened to me during this time, a lot of health issues and, you know, economic issues and multiple things, but I did my best. You know, this wasn't a cheap figure. If anything, I put a lot of money into this, which ended up in so much wasted resin, resources, and time. And yes, I'm very disappointed that the project never came to fruition how I planned it. I think that it would have been fantastic because there was a few accessories, a few things that were going to make this the ultimate Shimo. But unfortunately, you know, people weren't really there for the figure also. The feedback wasn't really there by the time Haya Toys came out, which is understandable. And the fact is, Haya Toys has made almost a perfect Shimo, and I was already late by that time, you know. My ideas, even though I still have like hope that this could have been a fantastic executed figure and a different version of Shimo, it just wasn't there. And I just thought it was best to just move on because it was wasting so much resin, which means wasted money. Matters even worse, Mexico and the US, they have their ongoing tariff issue, which did not get resolved and just made things a lot worse, to the point where Mexico and the US were not shipping out to each other at all. So there was no way of shipping out to customers. Though customers were there, and most of my customers are from the United States, unfortunately, I just could not ship out to the United States because of both of our countries not resolving those issues. And still, they are not resolved, and it's really affecting a lot of people from both sides. You know, it's making people lose their job, economic problems, so many things. So that's very unfortunate.